you have a hit song here called Far From Over, which I
Yeah.
love. Classic.
Yeah.
My parents love that song too. And I want to really talk about that, and not even just about that, but about you did the music score for Staying Alive, the movie,
Yeah.
right? And that movie was it was like a sequel to Saturday Night Fever. And that song Far From Over, when me and Mike read about, it was the number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100.
In
And
some
also,
places it was #1 too. So
well, yeah,
it fluctuated, like maybe
Yeah.
Cashbox it was this, but Billboard was this.
different areas
Yeah.
and stuff, right? Which is really cool. And I wanted to ask you a question because when we were watching your documentary, which first off, congratulations on that. That was
Oh,
amazing.
thank you.
We
Very
both
I
had the
loved
pleasure
it.
to watch it.
I
Yeah, it was
loved
great. Was there a lot of pressure on you though to do the music score for that movie? Because I remember watching your documentary saying that the Bee Gees were originally supposed to do it, but then they kind of backed away. And then you had to
I don't think the Bee Gees really wanted to do it in the first place. I think because the deal is Robert Stigwood was the producer of the movie and also their manager. Okay. They kind of had been there and done that with Saturday Night Fever, which is a spectacular soundtrack. Why that didn't get the Academy Award, I have no idea, but it did. What happened, there was a kind of a fallout between, not my brother, but a fallout between, I think it was Travolta, like wasn't really excited about their new music. And they just said, forget it. That's kind of where I come in. But they went to Hall & Oates. They turned it down. And then they went to Billy Joel and he turned it down. So I came strolling into the studio saying, hey, listen, way before anything, I said, you think it's a chance I could get a song in the movie? And it was a resounding no. Okay. So,
wow.
and I was kind of at the end of my, I've been professional for 15 years. So now we're talking, I've dedicated more than half my life to music. So what happened, my brother tried to placate me. All right, go write some stuff, just to kind of get rid of me, And so I took it to heart. Of course, I nixed one of the scripts as I left the studio. So I started writing, and it just became a stream of consciousness. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things, because this to me was a do or die situation.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't going to happen then, and the fear, I think subconsciously though, the fear of all of a sudden waking up at 60, go, God, I have nothing to show for all these years of work. So I started writing it, and I think I kind of took on the soul of Tony Manero, because he was kind of, his character in the movies kind of like mine. He wanted to kind of make it to the big time, from where he was in Brooklyn, I was in here. And so I just started writing it. It just seemed to relate, and John, he just related to it, and the rest is history. I mean, you have to understand, this is the sequel to the biggest musical film in history.
Yeah.
52 million albums. Okay. 26 million, but there were double albums. So 52 million albums, right? And I'm there. Oh my God. I mean, I'm living in a crappy little apartment. I have no dough, and then all of a sudden I started writing these songs, and we went over to Travolta's house, and he was like moping the blues, what's going on? My brother's there, and he's trying to be uplifting. And there's nothing uplifting about it, because this is a huge movie on Paramount lot that might not happen after all this money involved, acting, they're ready to roll. And then across the alley, you had Flashdance, which was in worse trouble than we were. And that song ended up winning the Academy Award. What a feeling. So that's what happened. But the greatest feeling I ever had was when they said, okay, we're going to drop Far From Over. It's going to start the movie. We're going to drop it in next week. I say, you serious? At that point, they'd only accepted one song. I say, are you serious?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Open the movie. So I was on cloud. And then after a few days, it'd be like, hey, we want to get your permission to use Never Gonna Give You Up. Then a few days later, how about Moody Girl? That would be a good one. And all of a sudden, I'm going, are you crazy? I'm like this busted out guy. And all of a sudden, I end up with 9 songs in the movie. I think the movie, and a Grammy and Golden Globe nomination, which before I couldn't get arrested, right? So I think the movie got, in a way, when it came out, kind of a bad rap. But as it goes on, I get a lot of mail. People love it,
Yeah, it's become this like